This is how to save all of your crops with a food plot for deer season. Because we got beans in the ground. If you do it right, I love planting in the spring. I got too much stuff going on in the fall. All right.
This is a budget farmer production.
Oh, no, it's not.
Oh, yes, it is. Anytime that you go buy 4 foot more T-posts than you need because they're cheaper.
It's a 50% off. That is a T-post and a half.
Huh? Yeah.
It's a farm sale, man.
I want to see you get the post pounder on this one.
I'm curious to see if the tractor's gonna get that high. This is how to save all of your crops with a food plot for deer season. Not on a budget, because it's not cheap unless you have a smaller food plot, which would be nice. So if you're your 1/4 acre guys, your 1/2 acre guys, that's pretty nice. That would be good. We're doing 2 today. We were gonna do 5. My wallet said no thanks. And so I said no thanks. And so we're doing 2 acres of beans, the old man, and we got plenty of fence posts here, but we're gonna show you guys exactly why we are doing this, because we got beans in the ground. Everybody will tell you not to plant spring stuff, and I call BS, because as much as it sucks for some of them to get eaten, if you do it right, I love planting in the spring. Planting in the spring gets it out ahead, especially for some of our clovers and things like that, get it established. But we got everything, so we're gonna show you how to do it. This is our first time fencing like this, this excessively, but it works, at least from what I've been told.
All right. We're going, you said every 25 feet?
Check out my copper rod.
All right, so you need 2 of these at every spot, right? 1 here, 1 3 feet farther out.
Yeah.
Because you're not gonna leave this out, are you?
I think what I had anticipated is 10 and 10. 10 on the outside, 10 on the inside.
10 T-posts?
Correct. So 1, 2, go straight line down, 3. I don't know, it'll work itself out.
I think you can get away with 2, 4, 6 on this side. So you got 2 here, 2 there, 2 down at that end, then 2, 4, 6. It might take 8 on that side. How many you got?
9, 21.
Oh, you got plenty. Yeah, this is like bad.
Well, you had 2 tied together on its own. Me and Nick measured that, it was too short. So we tied a 3rd rope to it. Logic. Yeah.
Redneck ingenuity, I believe is what it's called.
No, it's called cheap ass. We can't afford a 25-foot piece of rope.
No, if I'm being completely honest with you, all the other rope that's in there, I didn't want to go cutting it up. We use it for our tree stands. This is a dumb use for it. It was a one-time thing, whatever. Gosh, you just can't freaking do anything right with them. I don't know about you guys. Gosh dang. Sometimes, you know, you love your parents to death, but it's tough. It's
right
tough
here.
to love them sometimes.
Let's go.
See? It's like that. I'm voluntarily doing this. I went and got all the materials. He just standing here. It's literally like, you know what we found? He always happens to have the machine that he gets to ride in, or is the easiest job. Like right now, he's just us and dragging rope. You know, my new favorite thing right now is, boom, read between the lines. What's his name? The actor, really funny. You know, you get it, Dad?
So the reason for the double fence is because the deer can get over a single fence very easily. We're trying to make it a little more cumbersome. So by double rowing it, then they can't, and when you put it far enough apart, they can't just jump over both fences. They got to jump, land, jump. Most of them, I don't think, are Olympic jumpers in the triple jump. So they
also,
don't.
it is a large, the studies have shown, not on this, but just deer, it is visual too. So if you give them something where it looks, like if you do 1 fence, it looks pretty easy. They'll go jump your fence. That's what they always do. You do 2 fences and you stagger them to where it looks like 3D. Most of the time they don't even want to try it because it jacks with their brain. But the whole point of this is because you take the time to plant all this stuff, and beans, you gotta plant spring. You wanna be able to hunt it. You don't want them just to be here during the summer. So here we are.
So what is the size of the field that you currently have in the works here that you're...
This one's like just over 2 acres. And I have learned this. A lot of people will tell you, and they are right, so don't question them. Anything under like 1.5 acres, agricultural or fields that do not regrow themselves, things that are once they eat it, so corn, beans, another one would be like turnips, the things you're planting year round or every year, not good to plant small amounts early in the year. Brassicas work because you only need them for 3 months out of the year, and it is, you plant them in August. But when you do 1.5 acres or less, the deer, especially, it also depends on the density of your deer, but here in Iowa for us, we do 1.5 acres and you get a good growth, good luck. You are going to watch your hard work grow for about a week, then you're gonna start watching it shrink. So now we do everything 2 acres or more if we're doing beans or corn. And in this specific situation, this is where Dad has killed a lot of very large deer. We want this food to be here. We've got alfalfa and beans over here, or excuse me, alfalfa and clover over here. We want this food to be here in the fall, not get hammered during the summer. And so we're gonna protect this. Clover they can eat and everything. The rest, we're protecting this. We'll drop it, the fence down when Dad is ready to hunt here more. And pro tip we'll talk about, we could drop it in sections if we want to only allow them to get into certain spots. This is not going to be super cheap if you do it perfectly. I don't think you should do it super like cutting all the corners, because you're just not, it's not going to do what you need it to do. We've already cut corners by using the amount of these plastic crappy ones that we're using. But what I would tell you is, number one, I don't think most people are going to be trying to fence in 2, 3, 4 acres, which gets to be a lot very quickly. Number two is take care of it and you're organized. Dad is very good about this type of stuff. When we go put things out and everything, when we go, we'll take a day later on in the year and we'll go pull it all down and make sure it's all organized, set it aside. We have the investment one time. So don't think about it that you're gonna have to keep doing it every year, because when you're planting food plots, you're always thinking, I gotta do this again and again and again. Buy it once and you'll do it good, or you're not gonna have to worry about it. So in this simple setup right here, we're $700 or $750, somewhere in there.
For 2 acres.
For 2 acres. Now, there's things you can do, like if I would have taken more time to do this, I would have gone on Facebook Marketplace and tried to find some T-posts, things like that are cheap, and I can go pick some up. A lot of times people will sell their like rolls of electric fence. Regardless though, this is new. We got some sales going on around here, so we got some good deals, but you're gonna want, we're doing every 20 to 30 feet. So we did 20, just over 25, our plastic posts. Anything where there's gonna be a tension point or a corner is where we're putting T-posts. And so that's why we're doing some of this where we're pretty much going straight, because I don't wanna have to have more and more T-posts. So that's one way to cut costs, because T-posts are much more expensive. And then you don't need an incredibly nice, high tensile freaking electric wire.
They sell all different stages of wire. You just need the cheapest stuff that you can get, other than just know that your deer are going to break it sometimes.
And one of the biggest tips I can tell you, when you're looking into electric fences and everything, they're going to tell you you need this, you need that for your solar panels and everything, and certain joules and everything else for the power. One of the major differences in why they're telling you need higher power is because most of these places that are doing electric fences and cattle pastures and things like that have the effect of weeds and things that are contacting the fence. So if you have a field and you take it and keep it pretty well maintained, like I'll come through and make sure, like this fence, this line right here, I'll make sure we mow it or I'll weed eat it. If you don't have any contact of weeds or anything like that, you can get away with a lot less power, which you're going from a $400 or $500 unit that's gonna power your fence down to like $180 to $200. So that's a really big tip on, if it sounds stupid, but if you get your weeds and stuff cleared out from your fence, you're gonna save a lot more money on your solar panel and your fence itself.
And then get some free help. Have a lot of kids.
Only one child is
That
helping
is-
today.
That's because the other one's just a lazy turd.
He's probably, I'm gonna guess he's fishing or golfing.
Yeah. We're running our strands of wire. The only goal we're doing here, we're doing the bottom row on the inside. So simply put, we have two fences side by side. I know we've explained this, but two fences, they're gonna be separate. They'll connect to one power source. And then the outside will do different heights. We're doing two strands. And the inside will do two strands. So the only goal here is, I mean, you don't have to be perfect. We're doing like 18 inches on the bottom from the ground. And then we'll go to like the top on on the top strand. So the goal is, just don't make them identical to each other, the outside and the inside fence, so that it doesn't blend together. So you get the visual effect. When the deer walks up to it, they see something different. They want to still be ballsy. Zap! You know, hopefully. Thank you for coming along with our journey of escapades. You missed about half of the bloopers, considering the fact that we had a totally jacked up spool of electric wire, but it's done now. So as you can see, we have one fence on the outside, and we got one fence on the inside. Strategically, the inside is a little closer together. They're both, they're spread out like 2 foot, and then over here, they're like 30 inches spread out or so, something like that. So basically, we've got electricity that is going to keep them from coming into it, because they'll shock them and not hurt them, and just warn them. And then secondly, visual aid, so that when they see this, they're not going to want to jump this at all, because of, apologize for my dog, because of how they see it. They're going to see it as a 3D, basically, where visual is going to keep them from wanting to jump this. So the point is, we have beans growing in here that's just starting to grow. We've already had deer coming into it. We don't want the deer coming into it yet. It's the summertime. We want our beans to grow. This is 2 full acres. To our left, we have clover and everything. So they're gonna be able to, clover and alfalfa, so they're gonna be able to still feed and have food. And we've got fields surrounding this, actually, that have other forms of crop in them, or fields in them. And so the point here is, our beans are not going to continue to grow. Clover and everything, if they eat it and everything, this is a very healthy stand of clover that we have, is gonna be just fine. We have to mow it anyways throughout the summer to keep it maintained. Next to it is our beans. Our beans is going to be a much, much better in-season crop to be attracting deer versus our greens and our clovers and everything. They will still hit clover and everything throughout the summer, or throughout the season, which is actually contrary to most people's belief. Alfalfa, people say, is only early season. I 100% disagree. If you have a good alfalfa stand, they will come to it just about year round. But right here, we're gonna have 2 full acres of beans that get to grow. They're gonna mature and everything. And when it comes to season, we probably won't do it October 1, but probably midway through October, we'll pull down this fence. And even if we wanted to be more strategic about it, we pull down just portions of the fence, so we can kind of funnel them into a direction that we want them coming into the field or not. So this is a very, very good way to be able to plant things like beans, especially if you're doing smaller food plots, to let them grow, to have a good stand of crop and food. And then when they come back and when you actually want to hunt it, instead of getting to the season where there's nothing left, you've got plenty of beans left. So we'll stay tuned with you guys. Hopefully, we've got another field that we did not do this with. You guys will see the difference. We'll try to show you what it looks like with that one and what it looks like with this one. So if you guys like this video and it is helpful, please hit the subscribe button, like the video, comment if you guys have any questions, or you think we're absolute morons and excessive on doing something like this. Check it out, hit the notification button, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks for watching.